We are starving. I have no makeup, and that's why I look like this. We will work for donations, whatever we can get. We totally appreciate. Help us keep Live with Neve alive. Now let's head over to Dead Neve and ask him, see what he's come up with. Hopefully something. Oh, doesn't look like he's up at all, let alone up to doing something. Neve?
Where am I?
Uh-oh.
God, it stinks down here. Oh, okay, here's a backstage pass door. I think I'm on my way the right place now.
Neve?
Hi, I thought I was in hell with the Backstreet Boys or something.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Hi, everybody. Dead Neve has gotten back to life. How's everybody doing? This is a little happy hump day update from Live with Neve. I see a few of you in here. I'm here minus Julie today because I'm just going to come on and do a little quick pop-up and see what everybody's up to. It's a beautiful Wednesday. I started my day early this morning. Had several meetings this morning regarding bands and Sam, Rourke, and Live with Neve sponsors and the Nashville gig we have coming up. And I have to tell you, we got a lot of really cool stuff happening on the show coming up for you in this next month. I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm telling you right now, we have some amazing guests. This week's going to be, if you've ever watched my show before once, you're going to want to watch my show Friday. You're going to watch both my shows. I have two shows. We have a show. Oh, my battery's running low. Oh my God. The app's going to go away. At any rate, you can see Live with Neve. You know what we do. Music, comedy, discussions, devivals, revivals. We have all kinds of fun for everybody. We even have an on-staff paranormal investigator. In case you have weird problems, we can help. I have got so much going on right now, and to tell everybody, happy Mother's Day to all of you moms who watch my show. We guys would be nowhere in the world without women, number one. So happy Women's Day to everybody. I love you, ladies. I hope you love me. The world would be a far crappier place. Can you imagine if it was only us guys on the world? We'd be like Lord of the Flies within 3 days if there was no women in the planet anymore. We'd be doing all kinds of stupid shit. God knows what we'd come up with. I can just imagine. But our show is just here to give you a little sunshine in an otherwise mundane life that we're all living in COVID. Some of us are just living and doing all right. And there's sadly a lot of people who are not. There's folks out of work. There's people who are having friends and family die. I have several friends of mine in the past year that have passed away. And hi, everybody. Neve from Live with Neve. We're just having a little fun driver here, so please PayPal me / at Live with Neve. Okay, now I'm back. I don't know how that was a paranormal event that just popped that ad in, my begging for money. Let's talk a little bit about this month. On Friday, our morning show, which is always on at 10 a.m., we have an excellent musician who's going to blow you away. He's one of my neighbors here in Highlands, and he's played on Broadway, he's sang in various Broadway productions, I think Rock of Ages amongst a couple of others. He is a super talented singer, songwriter, guitarist, keyboardist, all-around cool guy. And he's been playing in the New York area, played all over the country. He's just an exceptional talent. And he's on our 10 o'clock show. He's my featured guest for the day. Of course, Julie and I and Mike Imperato, our rant man, will be on in the first segment. Then we have, he will be joining us. Tommy Grosso will be joining us from 10:15 till 10:45. And hopefully he'll be hanging around. Right, we'll just close out the hour. We love going over when we got great people playing great music. So at 10 o'clock Eastern time on Live with Neve, you're going to see the one and only Tommy Grosso. And then for the rest of the day, you're going to get to see some interesting things as well. Hey, Pam. Hey, Nancy. Yeah, Tommy Grosso is going to be great, man. We love him. He's going to be live with Neve on Tommy Grosso. For a little background, we tried to do this interview over the summer. I believe it was back in September, actually. And we got out on my deck looking out at the beautiful Atlantic Ocean in New York. Just a great day. And like a day like today, just a perfect day to be alive. We recorded the show. I had other things. It took me about a week to get to production of the show for the following week. And when I went in, realized that the wind was blowing at 90 miles an hour, or not really 90, but it was blowing, and the microphone sounded like, oh. So you don't want to hear that, do you? Hope I didn't blow out your subwoofer or anything. But anyhow, Tommy's going to kick your ass. And then I have somebody, our West Coast show, which just so if you haven't been watching lately, our West Coast show is going to be on every Friday. If we have a guest from the West Coast, we'll be on Friday at 4 o'clock. Those of you who followed the show for a while know that we have at times tried different strategies to make the show better and fun and all that good stuff. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to be increasing our shows to 2 on Fridays, and we'll eventually come back to doing one on Wednesday. But for right now, we're really focusing on our Friday show. And then we have special guests, and we have our Friday show, which is East and West Coast or Nashville version. So from our West Coast, we have an amazing guest. We have the one and only Laurence Juber. You don't know his name possibly, but you should if you like the Beatles and you like Paul McCartney. I'm excited that in fact, the first thing I'm going to do when he's on the interview is I'm going to ask him if he's ever had an interview that didn't start with someone asking about the Beatles. And I can tell you, I did a little homework the past few days and researched. He's had a really amazing career. He's worked with Sir George Martin. He's worked with Sir Paul. And what struck me is it's not what he did with Paul McCartney. It's what he's doing today. He's a big proponent of all different tunings, G-A-D, E-A-D, G-A-B, I believe. At any rate, I'll talk to him about exactly what he plays in many tunings. And if you listen in the background, this is a little bit of him and Tommy Emmanuel just playing a duet at his house. If you don't know who Tommy Emmanuel is, I can just tell you I am looking forward to having him on the show. And oh, go away, Siri, you bother me. If you can hear that, you're listening to Tommy Emmanuel and Laurence Juber tearing it up. Ching. So I'm going to have Laurence Juber on, who is an amazing solo artist. He started and was a member of Wings and Paul McCartney's band Post Wings. Amazing player, super nice guy. I have to thank the amazing Toby-Wan Kenobi for introducing me to him. I will tell you, you're going to see him on my show, but please sign up for his show. He does them every day, a couple times a week. I'm not sure exactly the frequency, but every time I get a chance, our girl Toby-Wan Kenobi out in LA is hooking us up with a lot of good friends, and we have a lot of friends in common. And I'm going to talk a little bit about another thing that happened today that troubles me. You know, we had Leland Sklar on about a month ago, and Leland doesn't know me from Adam. I called him up. I wrote him a letter. Actually, I think we may have chatted late at night once via either email or texting or something. But he agreed to come on the show, and he was a real gracious guy. He has played with absolutely everybody in the business. He's very accessible, approachable, and he's just a great guy. And if someone really doesn't like him, I can't imagine why. Because not only is he an amazing talent, but he's a really good human, and he cares about people. He doesn't have any bullshit rock star vibe that he puts off. He's just Lee. And I'm proud to have had him on the show. And it really bugged me to hear that some schmuck out there who has no life, or they wouldn't be doing shit like this, decided to impersonate Lee. He has a great show that he has. You can join his monthly fan club, I guess. And there's different things. You can have lessons with him. You can buy some of his music. Check out his website. Lee is accessible. He gets on every morning. He has a really nice show that he does where he just talks about the bands he's been with, and he plays along with it. And he gives out what I just call Leeisms. When I first interviewed him, he took me by surprise, and Julie still kind of teases me about it. And I asked him if he would mind doing a couple of shows. That happened. And he looked at me and he said, "No, I ain't got time for that." And I was just looking at him like, "Oh no." And he just started cracking up. He cracked a smile. He put on his big red lips. If any of you guys haven't seen the interview with Leland Sklar, we decided we were going to sit down and talk for 15 minutes. And we ended up talking for almost 2 hours. In fact, I would have kept going for another 2 hours, but he had things to do other than sitting here yakking to some, formerly intoxicated drummer guy who thinks he's a talk show host now. And to tell you the truth, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm trying to have fun. I want everybody who watches this show to know there's only one thing we want to do here. We want to entertain you. We'd like to educate you at times. We'd like to make you think. We'd like to take your mind off politics, off of COVID, off of your drunken brother-in-law, off of your crazy grandma or your crazy mom who's going crazy, or any of the people in your life, family, friends, bandmates, and who are on the misery sponge index. We don't need that in this world. Lee's doing a good thing putting a show out there for everybody to see and interact with a really world-class musician. And he gives an amazing amount of time, and he's very patient. Hey, Toby, what's happening, girl? I've been sitting here talking about you and talking about Laurence Juber. For everybody who's watching, Toby Simmons is here, and she is great. Pam Ryan's here. I have to say, Pam Ryan is one of my, I think, if not the first fan of our show. And I appreciate it, Pam, for stopping by. We don't have a big show today. I've just decided to try and come on every day at some point, usually around this time, midday, to tell you what we're doing on the show. So for this week, for those who haven't been here, we have at 4 o'clock our LA show with Laurence Juber, and we're going to play. And like I said, I'm going to ask him first about his career, not about Paul, not about, is Paul, is he a nice guy? Any of those questions. We'll get to those, of course. But I'm going to ask him about his solo career. Because I imagine if I was him and every interview started out with, "Oh, let's talk about Paul." He's got a career of his own. And I have to tell you, Laurence is a real gentleman. And he's incredible. And I've read his life history and his story. And I've been doing my homework, researching. We're going to be talking about George Martin, his interactions with him. We'll be talking about his career as it is now. And I will tell you, if you've never heard of him, which is a shame, because he's just an unbelievably talented musician. He followed a similar path to my life, although I didn't end up playing with Paul McCartney. I have had many experiences that have been great. And I've met lots of good people who are farther up the climb than I am, and I've met those below. And our show is meant to try and get a little bit of that knowledge that professional musicians have out for the world, civilians, if you will, to enjoy and see what we're about. Our show is just about talking shit about music, comedy, things that we laugh about. It's not about getting angry. It's not about downing or hearing lurid tales about celebrities. In my interview with Lee, we talked about that. I liked his comment. When people complain about musicians being divas or jerks or schmucks, it's usually because he put it right, they're just lame. They show up, they're unprepared, they can't play, their guitar's out of tune. Who knows? They could have been out all night. I don't give a crap. But if you show up for someone like Barbra Streisand, who has this reputation as being incredibly difficult, you'll find she's not difficult. She's a pro. When she walks into the studio, she wants everybody in that orchestra and the band to have their parts memorized. She wants the shit in tune. She wants them rehearsed. She wants to walk in and she wants what she wants. So occasionally she might have gotten an idea. Somebody might have put out, I've read these things. People put all kinds of bullshit on the internet. Oh, she's difficult. Well, she's Barbra Streisand. If you're lucky enough to be at her gig, you should be thankful that you have the chops, talent to even be asked. So if you show up, she calls you out for being not on your game or dialing it in. You're lame. Do your job. People aren't difficult. It's their career. When you've made your living as long as Barbra Streisand has, you have every right to tell everybody in that organization below what to do. If you can't handle the gig, don't take it. So enough about that. I guess I'm trying to get across is I like having conversations with people who've been in the industry at the top of the game. Toby One Kenobi, type in here. What is that? What is that? HTTPS? Is that going to the show Friday? A bit for it, or what do we got there, Tobe? Yes, you should put the Friday link up, Toby. Absolutely. Yeah, girl. There we go. So I'm going to go back to that. And if you guys are watching this, again, for those who haven't seen this, oh, hey, listen, we got John Spear on from Kinsey Paranormal. John, how are you today, man? Where are you at? John Spear, he's been a guest on our show many times. He runs a paranormal investigation unit. And whenever I have spooks or haints or paranormal activity, shit happens. Oh, look at that. Speaking of what I'm talking about, you see that shit? Stuff happens all the time. I'm like sitting here and it's like, I don't know. So, John, I need help. He's in Nashville. Hey, man, you ought to come up. I'm going to be in Nashville on the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and we will be having a special show. I have some amazing talent, and I'll tell you about that next week. We're going to talk this week. This week, we have Tommy Grosso, great entertainer from New York, played on Broadway, played in the Rock of Ages show. Just an amazing songwriter, singer, and all-around cool guy. He also happens to live like right over the backside of the mountain I live on. So we're neighbors, and I look forward to maybe playing with him sometime, just working on a tune or two, because he's a real creative guy. Getting back to Laurence, he's going to be on. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about all the Paul McCartney stuff you want to hear. I'm also going to try to have a guest friend of mine, Ricky Marat, not Ricky, God, here we go again. Jerry, wherever you're at, I'm still brain damaged. I always confuse Jerry and Ricky. I don't know if it's ADD. I don't know if it's just drummer brain. I don't know if I'm just getting old. But I'm hoping to give Jerry a call. We've had him on, and we're working on the interview that I did with him a month or two ago. Jerry's a really funny guy, and he's also worked for Paul McCartney. So I'm thinking about I'm going to give him a call today, actually, after I get off with you, and see if I can have him come on the show. So here we go. We've got Laurence is on the, he's on the road, man. Nashville, Chattanooga, on his way to Orlando. All right. Hey, John, Julie will be playing April 9th and 10th. Julie will be appearing. We're going to be having a show broadcasting at the same time I'm broadcasting from Nashville. We're going to be simulcasting from two different sites. She's going to be performing at the Wellness Festival in Bonita Springs at the Bandshell. I can tell you from having lived in Florida, the Bonita Springs Bandshell kicks ass. It's a great venue, and she's involved with an amazing festival, and she will be playing. It's going to be great, and I'm really excited for her. She's great as my producer and co-host, and we just love her to death. Yeah, Toby, I get you. I'm looking at the comments, guys. I'm sorry I don't have Julie here feeding me all this stuff. No misery. If you live in misery, get the fuck out of here. Thank you. That was my little soliloquy for you. Let me say that again. Soliloquy. I'm suffering tremendously from hay fever and stuff. As usual, my mind flits all over the map. Here, I'm going to go ahead and put up the link. Here we go. Toby has lit. You will see an ad there. I will be running her promo as soon as I get off. So we're going to have Laurence on. We're going to talk about his career, how he started. I'm aware of a lot of these facets, but you guys aren't, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to hell of a story to tell. He is just an amazing guy, and I'm really excited to have him on the show. I love nothing better than talking to quality musicians. I like talking to quality musicians, whether they're famous, whether they're not famous, whether they're somewhere in between, whether they're a beginner. I don't believe in crapping on people's dreams, because there's a lot of folks who are hurting right now, and they want to have something to do. And I would suggest to all of you out there who are depressed and suffering, you've got family problems, play some music, sing really loud, do stuff like that. If you do that, you'll find it really hard to stay uptight. Put on some music. I'm not one to ever tell you to annoy your neighbors, but sometimes turn it up, crank it up, sing your heart out. They'll get over it. It's only a 3-minute song based on our music industry overlords. So I guess I want to say I want you all to watch the show, have a few laughs. And if you can see at the bottom, we do work on donations. This is NPR, only better. It's Neil Public Radio. I don't have any funding from any government sources. The only funding I have is from my sponsors and from the people who donate money to the show. If you like my show, please, we have a PayPal link right there. PayPal me, Live with Neve. I don't want to sit here and beg you guys for money. The bottom line is, if you like the show, send us a few bucks. Just, I don't care, $1, 50 cents, whatever you can afford. And if you like the artists I have on, buy some of their product. Seriously, everybody talks about wanting to support musicians. Well, now's the time to do it. If you have musicians that you go see, buy their product. For those of you who are not aware of this and who patronize Spotify, Pandora, all the other services, the streaming services, I know that everybody in the industry is telling us, especially the people who run all the streaming sources, they don't really care about you. They care about money. The Dixie Chicks, or whatever they call themselves now, or Lady Antebellum, sold over 20 million plays. Hey, Rob, we'll talk to you in just a minute, man. I'm so glad Rob stopped by. Getting back to what I was talking about, I totally lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Wegman surprised me. He got me all excited. Rob Wegman, for those of you who don't know, is a great painter, producer, and musical. He's not, I like to say, I would say genius, but he's got that little touch of genius, like maybe sub-genius, like me. I'm kidding. If you have not heard Rob Wegman, I'm just funning with him. And he's not only an excellent artist, and I will eventually own one of his paintings, have it on my wall next to my Chagall. And he's not only a great visual artist, but the guy, if you want to talk Beatles, talk to him. If you're making a record and you want to have a Beatles sounding record, or Beatlesque as the hoi polloi might say, check out Wegman. Check out his website, check out his musical products. And again, this shit is all donations. If you think we're funny, if you have a show that you really enjoyed, just send us something, or send something to the guest we have on. Or if you can afford it, send it to both. We have expenses. We're producing shows in Nashville in April. I plan to have a show in Los Angeles slightly before Thanksgiving. And that takes money, and it takes time. There's plane tickets, there's hotels, there's a lot goes into this. And we compete with no one but ourselves. And so I will tell you, look, we're just here. If you think you like the show, send us a few bucks, or send it to one of our guests or hosts or whatever. But it is important, because if you want to hear good entertainment, I don't know if we're always good entertainment. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. Our friend Elizabeth, hey Liz, I hope you're doing good. I'm glad my show lifts you up, and I love the fact that you watch it. I really appreciate it, and it lifts me up that you watch it. I mean that from my heart. Yes, Pam, I love that. Fuckity fuck fuckery. What a great saying. Can you say that 6 times? Fuckity fuck fuckery, fuckity fuck fuckery, fuckery fuck fuckery. I can't. I hope you're having fun. Again, we have Tommy Grasso on. We've got Laurence Juber, who's just great. Look him up. Look up LJ. And then going back, I'm going to have a link posted so you can go to the spots that Toby has set up. And yeah, Toby, I have to tell you, don't we have some amazing folks coming up? I got to say, I'm really happy. And everybody, any of you who watch my show, if you like the show, give us a call. If you like Julie, give her a call. I also want to thank our friend from across the pond, Mark Rich, for collaborating on a song with Julie that she wrote, I believe, 20, 30 years ago. And I produced a record for her back in the 90s. And I'm pretty sure I heard it back then, but we were producing a very heavy metal record that she did, which is very well done. has some amazing musicians on it, and it was a labor of love. That's out there. If you decide you want that, give us a call and we'll hook you up. I've also got a new single which will be coming out with a video very shortly, and I will tell you, this is the longest song I've ever taken to record other than my divorce song, which hasn't been, well, the divorce song was recorded about 16 different versions, and I have the latest version. I had to keep, when I first wrote it, it was a divorce and it was a misery song. And every time I'd record it, I'd think, God, you sound like a morose old bastard. And I'm anything but morose. I may be an old bastard, but I'm not morose. There's one last thing, as I do digress all the time when I'm just sitting here. This is an unplanned show. I don't have any script. I'm just here talking shit with y'all. Our girl, Sam Rourke, will be joining me at our Nashville show, and we're going to be cutting a demo live in the tradition of the old style country factories in Nashville. I have written a song, and we're going to sit down. I've got the words mostly written. I have some phenomenal musicians on board who are going to join us, and we're going to be cutting direct to tape. No overdubs, no nothing. We're going to have a bunch of great musicians, and we're going to work on that tune. And, you know, knowing the way these things turn out, I also have to thank Mike Hatchett for providing our lodgings and accommodations and a recording studio to have this great event. And Mike is on our YouTube channel. We jokingly call him the oldest roadie in the world, but I'll just call him the coolest dude in the world. He has worked for Little Feat. He's worked with Fleetwood Mac, I believe. He's worked with everybody. He's an old school rock and roll road dog. The first time I met him, I immediately liked him. I wish he had worked on my crew. He's a hell of a guy. If roadies ran the world, we'd have a way better place. So that's where we'll be broadcasting from. The second night on Saturday, I'll be broadcasting from a barbecue place, which I have the info, but not in front of me. We will be across the lake. We're going to be recording in Nashville, right over by Dolly Parton's house. We're on River Road, and we're going to have a great time. I'm going to wander over to Dolly's and see if I can say, hey, baby, I got a song for you. That'll be about the last thing you hear in the shop before security drags me off the property and throws me into the river. But no, while I'm in Nashville, I'm going to be talking to a lot of great people. Some I have, and I know who they are, but I'm not going to tell you yet. And we have a great bunch of showcases going to be happening. I have Charlie Allen's going to be joining me. Charlie is a great singer, and look him up if you want to see some of the entertainment. On Saturday of this week, I didn't want to forget this. We have Pandora is making her worldwide debut of a recording session in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's going to be on 10 o'clock Saturday morning. We'll be on from 10 until noon. We're scheduled to be on from 10 to 11. But this is going to be broadcast all around the world, not just on my show, but on over 300 stations, terrestrial and internet-based. They will be simul-syncing what I'm doing. And I'm really pleased to be involved with this product, in this project. Pandora is an excellent singer, songwriter. She's been a rock and roller. She's made her living as a lady truck driver. Good-looking woman, hard, just sweetheart, and works hard, owns her house. She has some half-ass husband who threw her aside. Well, I don't know what's wrong with that boy, but I'll tell you what, he should have kept, common middle-aged man problem. When I started talking earlier about Leland, I mentioned that there was an imposter who was out there imitating him. Toby's here. She called me yesterday to ask about his phone number, the prefix, and I said, that's not it. And at first I told her I thought I just couldn't imagine what happened. So some idiot with no life is out there impersonating Leland Sklar. And all I'm going to say, listen, guy, get over yourself. You're not fucking Leland Sklar. You're not even a lean-to in the woods. You're just a jerk. So don't do shit like that. It's bad. It's bad for you. How do you feel at night? I mean, what are you doing? You got no life. All you do is want to impersonate somebody who's been very successful. Why don't you sit down with a bass and start practicing, shitheel? Seriously. I hate people like that, All the people I have in my life are excellent. And like I'm putting up here, Toby is she's rolling up. We've got T-Bear, who's going to come on, and he is just going to be amazing. He's on, I think it's the 18th of March. Let's check this out. Yeah. You see how this works. We have a highly competent data entry system here, which is my old calendar. T-Bear is going to be on my show Thursday, the 18th. He will be on at 4 o'clock. And from going forward, all of our shows from LA will be at 4 o'clock every Friday. We have some great guests. I have a couple that you're going to just freak when you see them. And I'll tell you, I'm excited. I'm thankful for everybody who watches. I'm thankful for the people who make guest suggestions. I'm thankful for my cast. I couldn't do this without Julie or Mike Imperato. If you're not familiar with Mike, our rant man, go check out his page. Mike is a fun guy. I keep him in my prayers. His son's going through cancer treatment right now. And so all of you, if you're the praying type, please say a good word for him. Your preferred deity, whatever, good vibes, good love, good mojo, send it out. I just can't imagine one of my children having to deal with that. I have 3 kids and I love them all dearly. And if that one of them or my grandkids was in this position, I'd be losing my mind. I also want to thank some of the people who've just written me nice letters and told me how much they enjoy the show. I will tell you, when you see this show, I sometimes act kind of goofy and I might say things that might offend somebody, but I'm just going to tell you all, look, I respect every one of you in my audience. I'm thankful. I'm really thankful that you have stuck by with me because I know how bad the shows were, and sometimes they still are bad. Sometimes they're great. It's kind of like being in a rock and roll band. Somewhere in America tonight, on any given day, any place, anywhere, anytime, you can have the greatest rock and roll band playing right in your town. You can have them playing in your garage. If you're a kid, I suggest you practice music. If you want to learn about math, about science, about history, it's a wonderful world to be involved with, and I am so thankful. Hey, Renee, what's happening, girl? All right. Thank you so much for praying. I want to say to you too, Renee, thank you so much for sticking by. All my friends in Australia, in England, in South Africa, all of you, thank you so much. I've gotten some really nice letters from places I never thought anybody would ever write me a letter from. I had a couple of folks that I had some young folks from South Africa reach out to me and about drumming, talking about drumming. They saw my page somewhere, and I asked them what they were doing, and they were playing in church. The majority of the kids in many places in Africa don't have access to musical instruments like we do in our side of the world, and the religious gospel tradition is huge in Africa, and it's a great thing because a lot of people get exposure to music and a lot of amazing musicians. My friend Steve J is the bass player for Weird Al, and we were talking about this. He's going to be on, by the way. He's just finishing up on a project we talk about every week just to see when we're going to be on, and plus he's a wealth of information about African music that you guys have, some of you may not have heard. I am assuming many of you haven't. It's great stuff. I've been listening. Go to Stephen J on YouTube, and you can hear why why Weird Al keeps him. He's been in the band since its beginning. And hi, Renee. And yeah, Nancy, thank you for Mike. Mike is a great guy, and we just enjoy the hell out of him. So, say a kind word for him, everybody. Getting back to the guy who's harassing Leland, just stop it, okay? If you want to harass somebody, come on over here, because I don't mind, getting down in the mud. And in fact, I might even enjoy it. Some of my former friends have called me a pig. Well, sometimes the shoe fits. You got to wear it. So, anybody out there, what are you guys doing? Toby, what do you got going on today? I saw Laurence earlier. Tell us, what do you got going on today? It's Tuesday. Is Laurence playing with T-Bear today? I'm confused. No, he played with him last week. Give us a headline there, girl. Hey, Renee, also, I'm curious, where are you from? I haven't looked at your bio in a while. Are you from down in, are you in Australia? I get a lot of fans from Australia, and I'm not sure why. I talking to Graham last night, who's one of Toby's artists, and we're just talking about how music, really brings people together. And he has a mentorship problem. Graham will be on my show in March or April. Also, if any of you guys have friends who want to be on the show, I will tell you, we are now currently pretty much booked through May. We do have some slots. There's like 1 or 2 in April or May, if that. I have a tremendous amount of shows going on. And in Nashville, our Friday and Saturday shows will be tremendous because we're going to have all kinds. I will be coming back with about 8 to 10 interviews. We're going to be doing a live recording shoot. I'm going to be interviewing and doing some workshops with one of my friend Gina Jones, various artists that she's signed or is in the process of signing. And I have the great Efren White who's going to be on, who I just love, and thank Gina so much for turning me on to Efren. If you guys haven't heard of Efren, I've heard him compared to John Prine, who I just love to death, and that's a pretty bold statement. But I'll tell you something, whether you've heard of him or not, the guy's got the spirit. He's got the groove, the mojo, whatever people call it. And look, Toby, thank you for updating me. All of you guys, Toby's saying Brian Charette. I know a lot of you guys saw the show we did with him, and he's an excellent talent. He's played with Cyndi Lauper. He's played all over Broadway. He's just a tremendous guy. And if you're interested in synthesis and electronic music, check his page out. Look at my page on YouTube. You can see the interview we did, and we talked all about music and synthesis and about his adventures in music. And we talked a little bit about manners for musicians. I suggest that all of you who are a musician and haven't learned how to look someone in the eye, shake their hand, I can give you a quick course in how to be a better human. Manners are important, and regardless of what other people's manners are, you'll be advised in the entertainment business to be nice to everybody at all times. You never know who's going to be your next boss. You never know if you're going to be invited to play with them. You never know if they think you're a jerk, you're never going to get a call back. If they think you're fun to hang with, you're really musically competent and you walk in well-rehearsed and prepared. If you walk up and you're not fucked up, you're not all geeked out on too much drinking. And look, I've made a whole shit pile of music over my career, and a lot of it spent in an extreme state of intoxication. And I don't do it anymore. I'm not moral about it. Truth is, I love to drink. I love to drink so much that it almost killed me. As a result of that, I don't do it anymore, and I feel great. Our governor's legalized marijuana. That's kind of entertaining to me because I think that's one of the issues in the states with all the bullshit we have for problems. This is political as I'll get. And for Republicans or Democrats, quit fucking around with the reefer people. Get their sentences, throw them out, let them go out and get jobs. Quit screwing the black community by a disproportionate nature. Just knock it off. It's bullshit. It's just like racism, They bust black people at such a high percentage of us. And look, I'm not anti-cop. They don't want to bust you people. They really have other shit to do. So getting back, Brian Charette tonight is on. His show is excellent. In fact, I'm glad Toby reminded me. I have a meeting tonight at 7 Eastern. So let me think. At any rate, I'm going to hopefully get in there to see Brian. Toby, I think he's just great. I really enjoy him. And we talked about having him on. Okay, Renee's from Oregon. T-Bear's today at 1 p.m., which is 4 o'clock Eastern. And let's see what else we've got. Renee was born and raised in Oakland. Okay. I've been through there. Nice place. When I went to Lucasfilms, George Lucas' place up in San Rafael, which Lee and I talked about, is just the most amazing place on earth to go and record as a musician. He talked about it at length. I've also sat in the Victorian home where Star Wars and several other things were written. Beautiful, beautiful. There is not a better studio recording facility, in my opinion, anywhere. And I know there's some that are really amazing around the world. Real World comes to mind, Peter Gabriel's place, Abbey Road, of course. But I'll just tell you, there's not that many really amazing studios on the level of George Lucas's. They have Foley stages. They have, when I was there, I believe they had 24 networked audio post suites. They had a master control room. They had a Foley stage. They had an orchestral stage. They had a theater that had the best sound system. I was there to learn. At the time, I was doing sound systems, commercial sound systems, and I was certified as a certified THX certified engineer. And the way it worked was I would design a system for your home or your screening room, which articulated exactly with measurement and the technology, the speakers, the frequency response, the wattage, the volume, the sensitivity ratio, all of those things, so that when you hear a movie at home and you hear that big THX, when that happens, that is it. When you have a home theater, if you listen to it, it's not a calibrated home theater, which is what I specialized in. Macintosh products, a lot of Lucasfilms came out with a lot of different encoders and decoders and things old. And now we're up to, I believe, 7.1. I'm not in that industry, so I may be wrong. But if you've never heard a movie on a calibrated sound system, I am of the opinion most people, hey, Toby, see you later, babe. And I got to just say something, Toby, is you're always making small acts of kindness, and they make my day too. And if any of y'all are watching this, go out and I'm going to go out and maybe get a hamburger and pay for the guy behind me. I just feel kind of friendly and all warm and fuzzy today. I've had so many good things happen in my past week, and just extraordinary stuff. And all I can say is I'm really thankful for everybody who sits and watches our show weekly. I know at times we've had technical issues and we're mostly getting them corrected, but we have a lot more to do. We have some great guests. I also want to mention, if anyone out there has a student who's in the audio industry and they want to do an internship, we are looking for 2 interns. They will be unpaid positions for 6 months, and if they work out and they're excellent, punctual, smart, funny, don't piss on the floor in the men's room, if they bring us gifts of myrrh and frankincense or gold or weed or money or, cash cards, whatever, throw it in the pot. We'll take it. We'll make sure it's disposed of properly. And again, if you have anybody who's a young person who they can work from home, and it is real work. It's not just come over here and we're going to talk and have fun. You're going to come on. We're going to have people. We're going to train them to edit. We're going to train them in social media. We're going to train them in recording and engineering production techniques as they are applied to multimedia. And I was sad because my alma mater, Full Sail, will not allow any of their students anymore to do an unpaid internship. And in my humble opinion, they're doing a grave disservice. And this is why I'll say this. I'm just going to go on my soapbox for a minute. A lot of people today seem to think that when you go to college, especially a great school like Full Sail, which I'm a proud alumnus and I've worked in the industry my whole life, they think, and I know when I got out of school, I thought I knew it all. I thought I had more knowledge than anyone on the planet. I thought George Massenburg, Bruce Swedien, Daniel Lanois, I thought I was going to smoke all of them. My mixes are going to make Peter Gabriel sound like complete shit. Or they're going to make Wegmans sound bad. Which, by the way, Rob Wegmans, his music, if you want to hear some really well-produced stuff, well-written, well-sung, Wegmans the man. And I have to tell you, he's on my list of people that I am looking forward to working with in the future on some unknown project as of yet. He's a great guy, and check out his art. Buy something. Buy a record. I don't care what you do. Anyhow, I came on and meant to just talk to you for 5 minutes. Yeah, and I'm going to thank you all for being here. I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for your support. I thank you for the people who've sent me an envelope with money in it. It's helpful. I'm not taking any salary. I don't make any money on it. All that we've gotten in, we use for expenses. There's no profit. I'm not getting rich. And like Toby, she's not getting rich either. She's doing this out of the love of her heart. And I will tell you, while I want to make enough money to do this show and make it better and make it spread wider, I don't want us to lose sight of that. All you've got here is you've got a few people who love music. We love comedy. We swear, we're profane, we're vulgar sometimes, but it's all in good fun. If we hurt somebody's feelings by accident, I'm sorry. if you're really sensitive, if you really can't, if you're triggered by a bad word, if I look like your evil stepfather, if I look like Bilo, the village rapist in Borat's village, I'm not. We're just here to make you laugh. And so if we make a bit and it's off color, if it offends you, please just don't watch the show. If you don't like my guests, if you don't like me, if you don't like, I'm cool with it. I don't have anything against you or anybody on this planet. I love everybody. And the people who are assholes in our world, I hope for them. I don't necessarily love them, but I try to. And I'm just going to close this out. I'm going to go cook myself a nice cup of tea, and I'm going to sit outside because it's 60 here, and I'm going to write. I've got some songs I'm working on. I've got some shticks and bits I'm writing for the new shows coming up. And like I said, we're booked all the way through through April. We're booking dates in May, and I hope you'll stick around and grow with me. I hope you'll help us out when we ask. I don't really want to sit and beg for money. So all I'm going to say is, think of it like tipping. If you like a show we do, tip. If you think it's crap, don't. In fact, you don't have to tip us to be on the show. Look at this hair. Where else will you get to see this amazing transformation from mild-mannered news reporter into a total psycho? Now, at any rate, I appreciate you guys. To the guy who's like impersonating Lee Sklar, fuck off. We don't like you. There's no need for people like you to do anything other than crawl back under the rock you crawled back out from and sullied the floor in Lee's place. Also, if you're watching, send Lee some money. Join his club, $10 a month. You'll get to talk to him a couple times a month. Is a great community of people. If you want bass lessons, check it out. Check out Lee's page. You won't be disappointed. And if you ever get to talk to him, you can tell him I sent you that way. You can tell him that Toby Simmons sent you that way, because he is a great guy. And I can't thank him enough for helping me when I really needed it in our show. He's been a supporter, and I appreciate it. I can't thank him enough because I can't do anything for him. I'm hoping to take at next year's NAMM. I want to go over and bring Lee a bunch of really expensive dog treats for his two beautiful basset hounds, which are my favorite critters. I knew his basset hounds before I knew they were his basset hounds. And if you know Mr. Peabody and Humphrey, his previous two, now he's got Mario and I can't think of the other goober's name. But I told him, I said, I want to come down and take your dogs for a walk, wander down to Minty's, get a cup of coffee, and just hang out and have some fun. He's really a great guy, and I can't thank him enough for helping us. But if you're in my audience and you're watching, please piss off. Don't bother Lee. Don't bother me. Just don't go away mad. Just go away. So that's it. I don't know what else to add. Oh, the donuts. Irish is here. Whoa, look at this shit. Hey, man. Oh, gosh, dude, I haven't talked to you this week. How about you call me tonight after work? I've got meetings till 8 o'clock, but I'll be done after that, and love to catch up. If any of you haven't, I'm going to introduce Irish. A lot of you have seen the show he was on. He will be back on with me. I'm just going to give you the quick wrap before I get out of here. He was imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit for a long time. He was in jail for 24 years, falsely accused, didn't do it, maintained his innocence throughout, finally had the Innocence Project got together with him and got him out. Sadly, his mother and her boyfriend were the ones who committed the crime, and they framed a kid for it. Yeah, I'll call you later, man. Or Irish, I'll call you, but it'll be after 8 because I got a shitload of stuff to do today. But at any rate, getting back to the story, if you want to see something heartbreaking, my show is all about fun and games and having a good time and looking at my bad hair. But really, this was the most serious show I've ever done on any topic. When I heard about it and I talked to him prior to the show, I didn't know even what to say. I was afraid of saying the wrong thing. I knew that had he been in jail for that length of time, he might be very angry at those who put him there. And I've got to tell you something. I love people who come up and rebuild themselves from falling down or and whatever happens in life, you get your ass kicked sooner or later. Irish went through that. He's back. He's had a lot of help. He's got a new home he's going to be moving into. He's got a new company he's building. He's had a lot of people help him. I'm looking forward to having him back on. But on my YouTube channel, there is the Irish interview. It's also broken into 3 or 4 parts because it did turn into a long interview. But I have to just tell you, I don't know the man other than through my show. But I absolutely am proud to have him for a friend. I think he's a remarkable example of survival, resilience, coming back and not being an angry person. And believe me, I know he's angry. I know he has to be. He handles it better than I would. I would be extremely pissed off. And I know he has that feeling, but he's a gentleman. He didn't do what he said, and it's the most screwed up thing. And I hope, I don't know about what legalities, remedies he has, but I hope he gets every bit of it that he's owed. He's a great guy, and I'm proud to have him for a friend. Hey man, I got to tell you, Irish, I really enjoy your company, and you're always, my phone's always on for you, dude. I look forward to meeting up with you. We might do a show in Chicago, and I think we might be close enough to get to you there, but we'll figure that out. I'm trying to think. Again, Friday's going to be great. Tommy Grosso, 10 o'clock show, the East Coast show, and then our West Coast show at 4 o'clock. And we have Laurence Juber, and he's going to kick some serious ass. We're going to be talking Beatles, McCartney. We're going to be talking his solo career, which is way more than just, don't get me wrong, playing with Wings, yeah, pretty goddamn good gig, isn't it? I'm available, by the way, Paul. If Jerry Marotta can't do the gig, I'll do it. And I say that tongue in cheek because Jerry's just Jerry. He's hand carved. So I hope if you have any questions, you call. I hope if you have somebody you want to have on the show, you call. And that's it. I'm going to.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with
Good evening, everyone. I'm here. You're not, but maybe you are. Thank you. Live with Neve, coming right up.
And I'm here too. Hi, everybody. See you next time.
Okay, back to me. Hi, everybody. I'm Jerry Marotta. Coming this fall, the Live with Neve show, featuring the one, the only, the inimitable, Jerry Marotta.
We keep that for the blooper reel. Try it one more time.
Here we are. No, that's I didn't.
That
wasn't a mistake.
Oh, right.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Moranis.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Bye-bye, everybody. I hope you have a great day. Signing off from Castle Neal.